Hi, family. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. 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 Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Hey, family. This is Monday. Excuse me. Come on back. This is Monday. The Couch Conversation Show. The Couch Conversation Show. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Yeah. Hey, look, family. Y'all know it's about keeping it real. Today is Monday, and Mondays I talk about 4 South. That's when I was locked up over central booking. 4 South. When I was locked up over central booking. And I'm going to say this, and I say it basically every time I talk. If I tell y'all what happened to me for me to be arrested, the first thing y'all say, oh, that don't sound true. But I was the one that got arrested and was charged with 17. 15 at first by the police officer. The detective who called herself doing an interrogation on me got mad at me, and she decided to add 2 more. So it came out to be 17. Now, mind you, I'm only telling you my story. I have a home monitor on my leg. Right? Wait a minute, I was reading something. Somebody, Merry Christmas. Thank you. I have a home monitor on my leg. Now, if I had made it to my court trial, April the 9th of last year, I could explain to the judge what actually went on. So they fixed it where I couldn't talk with the judge. When somebody tell you about themselves, you don't know if it's truthful or not. If you have a problem with what they're saying, it's not them. It's you with the trust issues, not the individual that's telling their story. When you say, I don't believe it, it don't sound right, that's because you don't trust. And it's not that you don't trust that person, you don't trust your damn self. Because I don't know if it really happened to you or not. So what I was taught, just believe that's what they saying is true until you're able to see something different. Or because you got to see stuff for yourself. And that's a lot of y'all problems. You want to put your mouth in stuff when somebody explaining to you about certain things that happen. You know what I mean? Now, say like you was in an abusive marriage or relationship. We didn't see what happened, but we know you got damaged. Let me put it like that. And we can only go off of what you tell us. But you will never actually tell why the person did what they did, because what they done was actually wrong, but it's 2 parts to that. What did you do? Well, I don't want to tell that. I just want to tell you what they did to me. Oh, no. And the reason why I'm saying that, right, because keep in mind, I started out Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. And this is Mondays. This is my talk where I talk about, mainly the prison system, stuff like that. And if anybody want to come up, anybody want to share their experience with certain things, you're always welcome. You are always welcome. But I realize, and it's not being smart, we have people that's going through life changes, and they are looking for platforms where they can vent, where they can talk about what's going on with them to release whatever stress they're going through. So I'm only sharing this for some of the TikTok people. I do not really care because I have my own platform. So I'm not coming up on your platform to share my experience, strengths, and hopes of something I used to do over 10 years ago. Mainly if I'm talking about my marriage. That was over 10 years ago. I can tell you why I did what I did, and I can tell you what I did to correct that. That's what you need to listen to. Don't get stuck up in my stuff. This is how I try to teach people when it comes to us living in the here and now, is not to, let that whatever happened in your past become your problem in the here and now. I don't come on here just to come on. Oh, I ain't got nothing better to do. I'm going to go on. I ain't got nothing better to do. I'm going to go on. I don't do that. I schedule a certain time to come on, and my goal is to schedule a certain time to go off. But then it all depends on where I'm at, because I'll come on, and in my mind, 4 to 4:45. But now God might step in and say, no, I need you to go longer. And you can sit back and say all you want. No, that's you. That's this. That's that. Understand, my journey is spiritual. So I know the difference. See, I can sit here and tell you my connection with the Father, with the Son, with the Holy Spirit. I can break it down to you. The transformation of how he turned my life around, how he began to let me see things. You might not have experienced that. You probably just going straight off of knowledge, which is understandable. I had to move away from that because I had to understand what God says and do don't make sense to the human mind. You just ain't there. I'm 62 years old. I am not 40. I am not 50. I am not 60. So for a lot of y'all that's still like 30, 40, 45, and you haven't experienced to the level of where I have grown at in my personal life, sometimes listen to the OG. You 40 years old. I'm 22 years older than you. You 45. I got lost. But that was easy to do, the 40, 42. But now I'm what? I want to say 15 years older than you, but it's 17 because my ex-wife is 47. And if I share with y'all stuff like, I'm an older dude, I like younger females. Oh, you shouldn't like that. You shouldn't do. Stop. Look, stop. When a person tell you something about them, you don't try to control that shit unless they ask for help. That's what I learned. If I have not experienced whatever you're going through, shut my mouth. Allow you to go through what you need to go through to get through it. But some of y'all, and I get all that too because I watch it, where you want to just sit back and you just want to talk and talk and talk. But you talking, but you're not adding any substance of recovery to it. And that's not to knock nobody. I was disappointed on this talk show I was on yesterday.
Unknown caller.
Sinai. God dang it, you might have to leave me a message. I was a little disappointed of this host because it started out basically about men cheating and stuff like that, you know, doing certain things. And I shared my experience on that. When I share my experience, I'm not sharing my opinion. Please, y'all, when if I talk, let me tell you, I'm coming from my experience. The only people that can really understand where you at is those who have done what you did, some that might be still stuck in what you used to do, and they need to hear something to help them move forward. So when a lot of people host these platforms over here, what I started realizing, right, is they are mouthpieces with no solutions. Then you have people on there, if they don't agree with some of the stuff that you doing, what they have a tendency of doing, they'll start attacking you. What's up, buddy? They'll start attacking you. And I'm one of the people you do not want to attack because I will ray up on you. Then you will turn around and and then act like you offended now. And the only reason why I say that, because if you start coming for me, I'm going to go up. That's with my mouth. That's the way I protect myself, to try to back you down. So I'm going to tell you like this. It's not too many people that can really outtalk me. Ask the police department. Ask them why did they get mad? Why did their lieutenant come to talk to me? Why did their captain come to talk to me? Because they seen the videos. If you make me feel like you coming to me to attack me, I rear up. And it's I don't do this and that. I ain't gonna do that. But I will rear up with my mouth. That's my way of protecting me. Because a lot of y'all don't realize it. When it's 3 or 4 of y'all, when somebody trying to talk and you want to talk, you won't let them finish saying what they're saying. And the moment they open their mouth, let me finish. And then the next one come in, then the next one come in. Do you know that's verbally, emotionally, and mentally abusive? And most of y'all that do that is the women. If it's a panel, the host is hosting. Number one, if you don't want to be shut down, you already know you need to gain control over that. Because yesterday, when me and the guy was going at each other, the black dude came out because he was talking about he'll smack me and he'll do this and that because I didn't vote for Kamala. So you didn't vote for Kamala, so you voted for Trump. I said, no, I didn't. I didn't vote, period. Don't sit up there and try to throw stuff at me. Because if I had voted for her, it would have been okay. But my thing is, I know I have the right to vote, and let me make that clear with y'all too. I can invoke that right, or I can refuse not to. And you don't have the right to tell me what I should do and how I should do it. And that's what I'm saying as a community, as a civil rights advocate. You don't have that right. Now, if you let me read this to y'all too, because my friend sent this out, right? She sent this out, and I copied it. Because I listen to a lot of y'all, and these are people that fights for people's civil rights, equal rights, and constitutional rights. And I want to read this. She said, Dr. King and Dr. King, I'm sorry, y'all, and Malcolm X fought for the 1964 and 1965 Voting Rights Act. They gave their lives for us to have the right to vote. We have to focus on the legislative branch. Listen to what she's saying. And this girl is deep into her stuff. the branch of the government that makes or enacts the laws. Now, I'm looking at Congress. I'm just looking at Congress. Now, watch. This is what she went down the line and said. And that part, I kind of forgot too. The branch of government that makes or enacts the laws, that is Congress, and state lawmakers like our city council members. We don't just focus on the executive branch. Remember what I said the other day when somebody was running off of their mouth? I said it's not about the president. It's not about the president. Whichever one we get in, it's not about them. It's how things trickle down. Y'all the one focusing on who in position. We the ones that have to, come together to fulfill, like what happened with the Wade versus Roe versus Wade. Right now, they passed that bill. We can get it amended. We can get it ratified. Y'all just don't want to do the damn work. You don't want to put in the work and coming together to, do rallies, do protests. You have to create a amendment. And I haven't read deep into it, but I just want to say this to you for a lot of y'all. They're not just talking about the melanated women. Y'all act like y'all the only females to get pregnant. And then on top of that, they passed the bill. Why would you? Well, basically, if you look at it, they saying, right, don't go out there sleeping with somebody without protection. And it's not just the point of making babies. If you sleeping with somebody without protection, there's a good chance you can catch something too. But no, y'all want to look at it. Woe is me. It don't make no sense. Did you see what they did with he must not have no daughters. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And my 23-year-old ain't ready for no kids yet. Because her goal is to become a lawyer. She want to fulfill her dream first. That's one thing I could say about that one. My 25-year-old have a daughter. She's walking in her whatever vision she want to be in life. And that's to be a certified daycare provider. But right now she's working at a school, assisting the teachers. Because she works good with children. My oldest daughter is an LPN. And the reason why I'm saying this, because basically their mother and father taught them morals, values, and principles. They're grown now. They have a voice of their own. So what that does for their father, right? That gave him a chance to go back into the inner city. For some of y'all that really don't understand what a community activist does or what a human rights advocate does. Now, if you want to talk about Martin Luther King, God showed me you are walking in the footsteps of a great man. So do you want to get that mixed up? Rather, I choose to vote or not vote? Then you're going to tell me I don't have a voice? I don't have a voice? So you taking that from me? Now, I made the decision, and I believe the last person I voted for was Obama. Now, understanding, I'm just saying for me, I didn't see what I see now in politics, what was happening before. I see certain things now. A lot of y'all don't, and you really don't care. You don't understand the process. So don't come for me if you don't understand on a personal note why Steve Copeland do what he do. I can vote all day, all night, all year. I can vote whenever. But what are we doing to help make the changes? The president can't do it. They can sign whatever bill into law all they want. It's us that has to actually do the work. And I'm glad, like I said, Mecca sent this to me on Messenger. And she's a Muslim, so she followed Malcolm X and them more. You know what I mean? So she put Dr. King and Malcolm X fought for the 1964-1965 Voting Rights Act. You have the right to vote if you choose to. And if you don't want to vote, you have the right not to vote. So don't y'all ever make an individual feel bad for whatever decisions they make. Just don't do it. And if you want me to be strictly be honest, once I started seeing the freaking bull crap with our politicians, that's what backed me the hell up. That's what backed me the hell up. And once I start understanding that they only create laws, they don't do the actual work in the streets, like coming out, encouraging and motivating the people. So I begin to understand the difference between creating laws, which is politics, and actually coming into the community to help the people that need them the most. Now, and a lot of y'all should have brought your butt here to Baltimore City when I was at the mayor's budget meeting for 2024. And I sat there, and his budget meeting for this year was $4.2 billion. I sat there and listened to him talk about all the places this money was going to go, except for the inner city. And a lot of y'all that lives a middle class life or in the county, guess what? It wouldn't have mattered to you because it's building back up in your neighborhood. But see, when I'm sitting here and I'm seeing this and I'm hearing this, so I told Brandon Scott, I said, look, strengthening the community, me and some other people working together to start rehabbing and revitalizing houses in Baltimore City for the inner city people. And when I talk about the people that living in poverty, the people that lives below the poverty rate, a lot of y'all just because you're not there, you don't care. That's why, because I do this in the streets, trying to encourage and motivate our people. I'm in the streets. So they came together, created some stuff to get me off the street. Oh, that don't sound right. I don't believe that. Well, I'm off the street. I'm 60. At that time, I was 61. The freak I look like, tell me this. Home invasion, burglary, armed robbery on a young man I considered as my nephew. Because his aunt asked me to help him. She said, oh, yeah, that's right. Uncle Steve helped people, because she didn't want him in her house. Why his aunt ain't let him in her house? That's her nephew. Why his grandfather ain't let him in his house? That's his grandson. Why his mother and father ain't let him in their house? But see, I help people. So I don't go deep into why. The point is, once you talk with me and I understand the proper help you need or what needs to be done, the goal is to get you the help. How can I do a home invasion on my own rental property? I signed the lease for that. I'm the tenant. So happened the two houses, they are my rental property and business. I do transitional housing, temporary situation to a permanent place. The police officer that wrote the police report knew that. The detective, I explained that to them what I do. So why would you roll it forward if you know this is business for me? And guess what? I'm talking about being illegally incarcerated. I don't give a freak if you believe it or not. Guess why? Because this home monitor speaks a lot. Me doing Zooms and never really appearing in the court to talk to the judge about who I am and what Steve Copeland did. And I'm only telling you what's happening to me. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Because you all in your damn head. You trying to figure out, nah, you had to have done something wrong. See, the lawmakers, I kept saying, Congress is the ones that create the bills, the laws. The president just signed them. Now, on the local level, you got your state lawmakers, our city council. We don't just focus on the executive branch. The president, the governor, or the mayor. The president, the governor, or the mayor. So who is the ones that create laws? Your council members, because we helped Bill Henry and them get that bill passed for slumlords to become licensed landlords. So now I'm looking at not just Congress, who else create the bills? The governor, if you notice, they will sign the bill. The mayor, somebody create a bill and he feel like it's great for the community or whatever, he will sign that bill into law, just like your president. And a lot of times what I do, I'll come on here and I'm sharing with y'all, but I'm looking at Congress most of the time. I'm looking at Congress, not the president. Once I begin to understand that, right, it's like, okay, whatever president you want in, you're going to put in. But they're not the ones. That's what a lot of y'all don't understand. When I got locked up, Christopher Anderson said something about, I think because I had came home or something, right? The goal is not to hold you if it's not that serious, like you're a danger to society, right? So he come talk about Trump did that, Trump did that. I said, no, Trump didn't. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. He ain't had a daggone thing to do with me getting out. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this is what motivated me to start doing some more research. Like who has the power, who actually have the authority to do this and to do that. Now, ACLU sent me a message. I'm gonna see if it's still on here. Talking about how Biden pardoned 37 guys that was on death row. And they said it's historical. So, when I heard or read it and it said 37, historical. First, then it popped in my head, black men. Black men. And that's the only way I could see them saying historical. But then too, death row. So I'm just saying this, y'all, because this is the type of stuff I follow. This is the type of stuff I do. You know, um, if you don't do, like, you're not a community organizer, you're not a community activist, please stop knocking what we do. We're only mouthpieces for people that's actually afraid to speak out for themselves. So you don't come out to put your life on the front line like that. You don't come out to put your life on the front line like that. So I'm not trying to be smart. Anytime you catch somebody like myself that fights for our equal rights, civil rights, and constitutional rights, we going against corrupt politicians. Now, I shared this last night. We will never end, because I was looking at the deportation. Merry Christmas, bro. We will never end or stop the immigrants from coming in. That's just what it is. But basically, they can slow it down. They can slow the process down. And every illegal immigrant in the United States, basically, they're not going to catch to get rid of the deport. So all of that is a process. It's a process. That's all I'm saying. It's a process. So now, in that process of me saying that, a lot of big developers and businesses have illegal immigrants working for them, like Donald Trump. Look at the games they play with the people. How many melanated people work for Trump and Trump plazas on Trump's golf course? How many? It's my coffee is good. How many? See, y'all don't think about that. But guess what? You have inmates that tends to come out and they will do work in the community. They clean up the highways. You know, they come out for good behavior, stuff like that, right? And they get paid $3. Some of them are in the warehouses of these big corporations, sewing clothes, making shoes. So the more they get out to deport, the more they're going to replace them in these prisons with us to come back out and do the work on these farms, in these warehouses, in these corporations, warehouses, stuff like that. They will fix it. They ain't coming out in their uniforms and stuff, and their, attire, so you'll know who they are. It's companies out there that does temporary services, but then you talking about prisoners. And I'm only sharing this with y'all for what I see. And to be truthful, you can hate me all you want for sharing the truth, because that's what a lot of y'all do. Now I understand certain things, right? When people would say, we need to wake up, we still blind, we sleep, we this, we that, right? And I used to hear that, and I'm like, I ain't blind, I'm awake. That was for where I was at. But as time went on, and I started getting deeper into the ministry and everything, stuff like that, right? and I started getting deeper into certain things, well, my calling, I started getting deeper into it. I was beginning to see God started opening up my eyes to stuff that I really didn't see. And when I hear some of y'all talk, I can tell when you still in the dark. I can see a lot of y'all still in the dark. Cause now where I'm at in my life, because of the way I do things, and being a community activist and doing what I do, where I was once blind, now I see. So a lot of y'all, right, that haven't got to that point where you're open, and it's a lot of young, knowledgeable people, I'm telling you, it's a lot of y'all speaks very, very great knowledge and wisdom and stuff. For somebody that's, a little younger than 62. A lot of y'all see what's happening. And the reason why I'm saying that, look at what's being poured into the community. That's what we were talking about last night. The pew-pews. The other stuff that's wiping people out. Who y'all think doing this? Who y'all think doing this? I'm listening to the people over the prison, right? And mind you, I came from the old school days, with all, you know what I mean. But they doing these pills now. And then certain pills that we might take, medication-wise, they using that to put into their stuff. Where they can, I'm like, what in the world? And I'm seeing this. Because this is where we at with the generation we have now. So now, once again, here go OG. Here go Yacht. Here go Big Unc. My goal is to encourage and motivate the ones that I can. If you have 70 guys in one dorm, you might have 3 of them in there that's willing to listen and want to make a change when they come home. I know how hard it is for a lot of men to change their ways of thinking. I sit here when I tell y'all I have 31 years clean. January the 26th will make 32 years clean. In that process, I had to change my old ways of thinking. I had to change people, places, and things. I'm only giving back to people what was given to me. That's all I'm doing. I'm only encouraging and motivating our people, and it's not just the men, women, and children. So the people I was talking to the other day, they were talking about, well, look, just because you didn't vote, right, it's like your voice don't matter. I'm like, what? Just because you didn't vote, your voice don't matter. That's just a vote. My thing is, we know what the problem is. With a solution. And I'll ask you this when you come at me like that. What are you doing in the communities, the people that need the state and government the most? What are you doing to help them elevate and turn their lives around where they won't have to depend on them like that? Well, see, no. What are you doing? Because I understand the difference between politics and the actual physical grassroots work that needs to be done. So when you come for Steve, make sure you have your stuff lined up. Because if you come at me, then I'm going to ask you, what type of programs do you have in the inner city where you're really trying to help elevate the people to get them off of food stamps, social service, low income housing? What are you doing? Don't tell me about Trump. Now, if he walked through Baltimore City, tell him bring me $10 million. Okay? So we can start rehabbing and revitalizing houses for the inner city people. So when I say that, I'm only letting y'all know because I deal with the inner city people. See, I know what it takes because when I look back at what Jesus Christ did, what I read when he walked on this earth, that's what Steve Christ do to help his people. I mean, Steve Christ. Oh my God. That's what Steve Copeland did. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people ain't there. I already know that. Because I talk to a lot of people who do a lot of amazing work in the inner city, feeding people, clothing them. They not getting government funding. The president ain't sending nothing to them. The council members, the congressmen, not sending nothing to them. And me. So y'all, I be tripping out. And I be like, y'all don't do it. Don't do it. Because a lot of y'all family members that you don't want in your house, who y'all think they be reaching out to? People like myself. And I really trips out on y'all, man. I trips out on a lot of people. You so busy running off at your mouth, but you don't do what needs to be done to help the people. Oh man, that's right. He can't come on this. I got really disappointed, y'all. I got really disappointed. And I text my friend back because he told me to go over there, kind of talk with them, kind of educate that. And no, not that one, this other one. I told them, I said, look, I'm an older guy, and I can tell when they're young because I can tell just the way they talk, the way they see things from where they at now. Um, I I grew up, and that's why a lot of people have to. I'm saying, listen, right? Because I grew up with very poor information that it's a poor rat that had one hole to run in and out of, and that was that female, you know. And I remember my uncle saying to me, and we in a room like this, he was like, he had enough females throughout his life to fill up that room. And because he said that, now mind you, I'm going off for old information. So I had to mess with enough females to double fill up this room. I don't work with my son like that. I don't never want my son to be like I was. So I don't even talk about, boy, this girl, this girl, blah, 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 blah. I don't do it because he has a girlfriend and they've been together since they was about 16, 17. So I don't want to encourage him in any way to think it's okay to step outside of it. That flew right over your head, didn't it? Didn't it fly over your head? Because I'm a man that don't want his son to be like his father was. And I know it flew over your head. Why? He should be just like you. So basically what I'm saying, I had to do something totally different with my children. I didn't want my children to know for the longest time that their father used to use. Because know why? When they was born, I was clean. So I had to do something different. I had to do something different. Jay Buck, I don't know what the freak you talking about. That is so sad, Jay Buck. You want that much attention. You posting stuff I don't even understand what you're saying. But just understand the mindset, right? No matter what I said, it started out good. The moment the other day, because I said I don't vote. That is none of your freaking, even though I shared that. But for you to come at me, and it was about 4 of y'all, even the host. Respect where that person is at. You as a host did not have no respect for that individual. It's sad, bro. It is sad. Because when you hosting stuff like this, you're going to have all different types of people come up that's not on the same wavelength of believing things the same. You do not personally attack them, bro, for what they believe in or the way they live their lives. You do not attack them. It's a lot of stuff that goes on around this world and stuff like that, right? Or let me say Baltimore City. I don't like. But I look more at the solution of what we can do to make it better. And when I hear certain people share certain things, but you don't come with the solution, you have a talking point. I hear that because this is what I go through all the time. Mainly if I'm sitting, say like if I'm sitting down City Hall or Annapolis, I hear people because they can speak well, but you won't hear them mention anything about intervention. You don't hear them say anything about slowing down the process or programs out there that you can guide your loved ones or your relatives to help them. Or you don't give them a number where they can reach you to get that extra information. That's why I post my stuff up. But hey, some of y'all just like to talk. I know people have shows, they be on like 12 hours a day, and the same people be right there with them. And the moment somebody like me come in and kind of like, because I'm trying to get better with not being so personal with solutions. I'm trying to be like a lot of y'all, just talk hypothetically. What's up, Charlie? I'm trying to be like a lot of y'all. That when I go on somebody's show, just talk with no substance. But then when somebody like me come in, I become your personal target. But understand it, I get it a lot. So I'm kind of used to your name callers. I've been called Uncle Tom. I've been called Uncle Ruckus. I've been called Couch Porch. I'm like, I'm like, what? Like, what? So I'm used to people coming back, mainly my people, in a very, very negative way. So no matter what you say, my thing is, it's like, get it out. Because I know I'm not your problem. If you come for me, the first thing I'm going to do is like, oh my goodness, what is going on with you? It's something personal in here. Remember what I said. I'm coming up on 32 years, so I sponsored a lot of men and women. So a lot of the people that come into my housing program, I sponsor them basically. But I guide them to the professional help. So whenever you come at somebody else in a negative way, I know it's some shit going on with you. It ain't them. It ain't them. Because what you eat is not going to make me go to the bathroom. So if you feel the need to come for people and attack somebody else because of where they at, what they think, and how they feel, it's normally you. And a lot of us know that. It's normally you. They not the problem, you the problem. But you want to make them out to be the problem. And I watch you. It ain't them. I done seen so many guys come on lower platforms on here on TikTok that I be on. And I watch the women. And it be men, they might be married men. And they be talking about like, what they doing as being fathers and this and that. And it's women that will cut them short. And the only thing they trying to say is all men aren't like that. That's all. I had to tell my ex-wife that. All men aren't animals. Y'all done got in your head, but guess what? You got a boyfriend, don't you? Or you married, but you calling all men, all men. One girl ain't even had no kids was on this show, right? And she was steady talking about like you. The way she was talking, you would have thought she had children. She ain't had none. But see, basically, she was giving her opinion on things. And to her, in her hearts of heart, she had that right. Some things you just don't put your mouth in. Now, if you've never been married, but you feel as though you can tell a married couple how to be married, but you never been married. And I ain't saying relationship. Because if you've been with somebody for a certain amount of time, and let me say, maybe 2 years, or if you've been with somebody for 5 or 10 years, and they haven't made the decision, that male, to ask you to marry him, but you living like you're married, something ain't wrong with that to you? I'm 62. It's no guarantee I'm going to have another 10 years, 5 years. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I've been married twice. If I get married again, thank God. Because the goal is to be a better man than I was in my other two. So you learn from your mistakes. That's all. If you can't share your experience, strengths, and hopes when you know somebody might be struggling or going through certain changes, just let them go through what they got to go through. Don't try to cut them down. Don't try to beat them down. Don't try to beat them down. You know, um, I am going to cut this a little short. I hope I don't stay up late like I did. I've been going to sleep like 5 o'clock in the morning again now. Um, and normally I've been going to sleep like about 12 o'clock. So I wake up about 8, stuff like that. But when I dozed off this morning, it was probably about 7 o'clock because it was light. It was light out. But see, I know for me, because I can't go anywhere right now, I can just lay there all, and rest up real well. And I know a lot of people can't. And business wise for me, because I can't physically move about, somebody just called me from Sinai Hospital too. Because I can't physically move about. Hey Calvin. Yeah. I got you, Calvin. Um, and see, Calvin, where I'm at, uh, my family living well. My family living accordingly, right? So what that did, that gave me a chance to go back into our inner city and help the ones that want the help. You know, um, because my son plays soccer, the goal is to open up a multi-purpose center for inner city youth. So in the multi-purpose center is to have it like the school of the arts, like music, art, theater, dancing, stuff like that, right? Um, and I have been talking to people about, coming in with programs because my kids, like I said, my son plays soccer. My daughters, my two other daughters, they did modern dance and stuff like that, right? Tap dance and modern dance, and they modeled as well. My oldest stepdaughter, she did. Well, I'm going to say cricket, but anyway, a lot of the sports they played, a lot of inner city kids don't play. Like unless it's like basketball, football, baseball, stuff like that. But the goal is to bring in like golf, cricket, stuff like that to the inner city in their city, in the inner city. So it's just doing it. That's all now. It's just putting the programs into some of these recreation centers. It was told to me just take my program into the recreation centers, but I want my own space, you know. So that's what I've been working on, my own multi-purpose center, one east, south, west, and north. But two, if we have to start out with putting them in the recreation centers that's already there, because what I understand, they are open, but they don't have, like, you might see the young girls in one room, they don't have nobody in there actually teaching them how to properly dance, or they in there dancing, playing around, but it's no adult that's actually teaching them the proper way of doing things, and most of all teaching our young ladies how to be young ladies, all of that. So it's been in the making for a couple of years now, and I got held down last year. So it'll be almost 2 years now since I was able to actually go out and do the things out in the streets the way I'm used to moving about. Um, so I I understand, and my youngest, he's 21, and he's living his own life. He's living his life. So what that did in the process, because I've been doing this for years, my family, okay, but God guided me out. into the community to help others. So I have to make that clear. It's a calling basically for me. And I try to explain that to people. It's a difference between doing what you want to do. By trade, I am a tractor trailer driver. That's my profession. I retired from tractor trailer driving 4 years ago. January would be 5 years. I just knew I was going to keep driving until I was at least about 70 or something if I had to just drop and hook. But I got sick due to diabetes, and I said, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and retire. And what that did, that gave me more time to start working on what I do as far as the LLC. So now I'm sharing my life story. And I'm going to say this. Dr. Umar has been a great inspiration for me lately. The reason why? Because he come hard from time to time. And he's raw. And he's real. And he understands. And when I speak on religion, I'm not talking about the churches like my church who actually help embrace the community and everything. This I know. This I know personally, firsthand. A lot of our members now are with we, ours, us. So they in the community. See, I know this firsthand. I can't talk about like what Jamal Bryant Church doing or what TDJ Church doing or what Creflo Dollar Church doing. I can't say that. But anytime you are head of a mega church like that, for a lot of y'all that might not understand, it is not the pastor. It's the congregation. They have ministries that they go out into the community. Now, I don't get all into rather they stealing the people money, rather they doing that. That's not, God told me a long time ago, don't worry about this, just focus on what you need to do. Now I'm talking about me, what the Holy Spirit told me. So I had to be obedient to what he called me to do. I couldn't worry about nobody else. Because whatever they doing, if they mistreating the people or they taking people money, they sleeping around, we got to understand too, just because they in certain positions, they're still human. We are not without sin. That's a lot of people's problem. Y'all think we are sinless. No. As long as you're here on this earth, you're going to fall short. You're going to fall short. It's only when you're called home that you won't be practicing a lot of or the rebelliousness, being rebellious towards God. That's what sin is. Being rebellious towards God. I ain't understand that. Or disobedient towards the Father. Y'all will blow it all out of proportion because I used to as a religious man. But no, I'm just saying that y'all to tie it into as a community activist, as a human rights advocate, if you actually look the definitions up, it will tell you we are the voice, basically for the voiceless. We are like lawyers because we speaks out for them too. I know for me, I can represent you in the courts. Even I can't go out with this on, but once I get things straight like this, and you in my housing program, and I have to go talk to a judge about a certain thing, I can do that. Or I would have to clear a lot of this up before I can go back into the prisons to educate and help rehabilitate our men, to let them know and share what would happen with me. So guess what happened? Somebody on here that had been through what I've been through and did the necessary things or going through and did the necessary work to come up out of it. And Charlie, If that was you, I'm sorry. I think I said the name right. If that was you, Charlie, I apologize because I keep saying I'm reaching out to you. I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to reach out to you. Now, I have you locked in my phone, and I meant to call you. I mean, message you to give you my number because I didn't understand a lot of stuff now because I am on parole and probation because I do get off of this in March. That will be my 2 years served time, like I'm in prison, but I'm in the house. Now, see, mind y'all, I'm not used to this. So I didn't understand I was convicted. So I have to finish out the rest of my time served still on home monitor. I'm like, what in the heck did happen? And I hate to say it, my lawyer, that's not the way it was explained to me. He told me he was going to straighten certain things out. I didn't know I didn't realize going on parole for 3 years and back on this home monitor, I was actually convicted. That's why y'all need to listen. Because some of y'all that's out there, that's a lawyer, that's into the civil rights movement and stuff like that, then the Innocent Project, then work with people who have done 40, 30, 40, 50 years, 20 years for stuff that they didn't do, or they was thrown more time on stuff that it shouldn't have been that amount of time. You get me? And because I work with the homeless and the less fortunate people, and they have hotels and places like that for them, I understand how people slip through the cracks too. And to be honest with y'all, I know a lot of people, but they didn't back me up. Do you know how they feel? And then I know people, right? It's not my job to beat you up. You might not like some of the things I say to help encourage and help motivate us to come together by pointing stuff out. Why they dividing us so much. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to Dr. Umar. And I'm talking with Marlo, right? We on our way home. He took me to get my medication. And I'm talking with him, and I said, Dr. Umar be like hitting, he hitting. He talking the way we talk, or I talk. I can be aggressive and stuff like that. But he talking, right? And I'm telling Marlo, what I'm hearing from him, and I'm looking at, he's talking about organized religion. He's talking about organized religion. That's another word for politics. Organized religion. When you trying to control and enslave the people, brainwash a lot of the people. I didn't understand that, David, if you still over there. I didn't understand that. So now I look at my pastor and I look at a lot of these other pastors y'all talk about. Then I look at my pastor and I'm looking at my church. And then I'm looking at how my pastor teaches. He don't preach. We're non-denomination, so we're not going under a particular religion. Now, understand, I didn't understand a lot about that early on. But what he does, his goal is to help you to learn to build that connection with the Creator, with the Son, with the Holy Spirit. But it's only one God. It's only one. You call him Buddha, you call him, no, that's worshiping. But if you call him Yahweh, Jehovah, we know it's only one God. It's one. Now, your particular religion might have a certain name for them. And it's okay. It's okay. Because what I started understanding, right? Whenever you hear me say I am a Christian, whenever you hear me say I am a Christian, read Philippians 2, verses 1 through 11. So whenever you hear me say I'm a Christian, what I'm saying, I am a loving, caring, kind, thoughtful, considerate man. I'm not talking about the religion. I'm talking about the personality. I'm talking about my character. But I can be a rotten, no good son of a sea biscuit. You know that mother effer. But look, that's because I realize I have a good side of me that's loving, caring, kind, considerate, and compassionate. And I have another side of me that can be jealous, that can be insecure, that can be filled with hatred, bitterness, anger, fear. But those are the things I try not to let overrun my life today. So I'm talking about me. And a lot of y'all look at us and say, but I don't mean us like that, but people like, we look at that one side of that person being beautiful, kind, considerate, and thoughtful. And the moment they screw up, oh, they ain't nothing. They ain't this. They the same person. They just screwed up. And what I had to realize, when you love somebody, you have to love the complete person. The good side and the bad side. That's why I understand a lot of y'all don't know what relationships is all about. Now, I'm not saying if you're in a relationship and you being abused mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, anywhere along that line, to stay. No, you don't deserve it. To be, abused. And when I tell y'all I walked away from my second marriage, I didn't know till I went to a therapist and I found out I was in an emotionally, mentally abusive marriage. It was wearing me down. I'm 6'1". I was starting to feel like I was 5'3". I was thinking about unaliving myself. How many men gonna sit here and tell you that? How many men gonna tell you that? Because y'all have a tendency, man shouldn't show his feelings. He shouldn't show his emotion. He shouldn't listen. He's human. That's just like me getting bust upside my head and blood running all over the place. And you say, you all right? No, yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. But your head busted wide open. You can see the brain. But you all right. That's because y'all make the male feel like he got to be this tough, strong man. You already, if you are a male and you know you are a king, that's fine. This king is a king crybaby. And guess what? If I cry, if I scream and I yell, I'm still a freaking man. Why? Because I was born one. You can't change it. I don't want to change it. I was gonna say I might have to stand up when I wee though. But guess what? Even if I sat down to wee, because I might want to do something else with it, I'm still a man. I'm a man because I know what it is to be one. Responsible. A man takes care of his responsibilities. That's what my mama told me. So I had to work even more on myself to learn how to communicate with Steve Copeland. We was talking about this last night, right? Communication with me. Being honest with me. Having faith back in me. Trusting back in me. Because once it's in me, and I know how to love, and I know how to have compassion, I can only give you back what's here. You can't give nobody that. Because if it's not in them, they're going to buck against what you're trying to do because they don't understand it. Thank you, Gloria. And I'm telling you, I had to look at Steve. I could sit here, right, and I love saying it, even though it's wrong. Check it out what I'm getting ready to say. I cheated in both of my marriages. It was wrong. But if I tell you I love cheating, watch what I say. I see you, Gloria. Thank you, thank you. If I tell you I love cheating, the only reason why I'm saying I love cheating, because if I didn't like cheating, I would never have cheated. Flip it. Flip it. I was dead wrong. But I realized for a lot of us, even if it's detrimental to you, we will practice a certain behavior that can really wipe us out. And we know it will wipe us out and do it anyway. I did that too. So listen when a person like myself that feels like he ain't got nothing to hide, because when you're dealing with me, right? What I do, my thing is keeping it real, not keeping it alive, not keeping it half done. What's up, Pete? Not keeping it fake, not keeping it phony. When you're dealing with me, I'm going to keep it real. And a lot of the females during that time, because I haven't in a while, when I was stepping out, I would always go to a 21-year-old. Why? You don't want to know all that. But still, I would always go to a 21-year-old. Now I'm 62. I might not look 62 to y'all. To me, I don't look no 62. And I be saying guys not being smart, much younger than me, I be like, dang, you looking. So I look good for a 62-year-old. So basically, I can pass for probably around about 50, maybe 55. So if I was to go for a 30-year-old, it wouldn't be a problem. If I go for a 30-year-old and they have a father that's 62, they would never put me in that age bracket because I don't act it. I don't act older. So they would think I'm much younger. And then if I sit back, once I might end up being with them. And then I'll end up telling them slowly but surely, well, I'm 62. Then they get mad because it's like, you my parents' age. See, I used to play those games. Now ask me why. I will tell you why. And I guarantee you, if I tell you why, you'll never get it. You will never get it. You will ask me again. Why you do this? Why you do? Well, 5 minutes ago you said such and such and such. I said the same thing. See, that's how I realize a lot of times when people talk, if you listening here, you will get lost with the conversation every time because you're steady thinking while they're talking, because you're thinking about what you're going to respond to. So you already got your answer to give back before they even finish. I learned this. And that's what a lot of y'all do when you on people platforms. So this one attack you, that one attack you before that man can even finish saying what he's saying. And some women too. Well, I see more women doing that than men. And that's not the bad y'all. I'm just telling y'all. That is called mentally, emotionally That's called verbal abuse. Because now you want to jump in before they even finish. Now listen to me, then. Listen to me. I'm like, look at this bull crap. And the reason why I can say that, understand. I've been married twice. Understand. I have 4 daughters. Where a man will shut down. Dude, if you steady running off at your mouth, a lot of times before I argue with you, I'll shut down. Because it takes 2 to argue and let you just go. Because what you will do, I ain't got to say one word. You'll sit there and talk for yourself, and you'll sit there and talk for me. Know how I know that? Because when I went to therapy with me and my wife, with my pastor, he was asking me questions. She was talking. He said, I'm not talking to you. I asked him. Now I'm sharing this with y'all because a lot of y'all ain't aware of your behaviors. So a lot of men will shut down because we understand it takes 2. I understand how important it is to listen to y'all because I have daughters. And if I'm always running off at my mouth, how much am I listening? I can tell if me and my daughter talking, I can tell certain responses from them. Well, how you doing, baby? How you doing? I'm all right. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if it sounds a little aggressive, they mad about something. And if my daughter's not willing to talk to me right then and there about what's bothering them, I'll say, okay. Because when you're ready to talk, I'm here for you. Sometimes you can't push it. You got to let them feel what they feel or go through what they go through. I learned that from my ex-wife. She said, Steve, you ain't always got to try to fix me. Sometimes just listen. And that'll fly over a lot of y'all guys' heads too. Because a lot of times that's all the women want is a shoulder to lean on. Somebody to listen. You ain't got to fix me. Just listen. That's what my wife taught me. Because I tried to fix her. I went down to a job one day and laid her boss out and he fired her. Messing with my wife. And he fired her. And she taught me, I just wanted you to listen. You don't have to fix everything. I'm like, okay. Okay. And that flew over a lot of you guys' heads and women too. You ain't got to always fix it. Just listen. Now I'm going to share this too. Any female that get into a relationship with me, I deal with women and I deal with children. Women, then women with children. I help the guys too. This is business for me. So if you feel like you're going to come in and start saying stuff like, well, you spending too much time over here, you spending too much time over here. Bye. I'm not going to let that happen to me again. Bye. Because number one, whoever you're dealing with on the outside, my goal is to trust and believe that you are doing the right things. Do not try to take that person's life, your individual, mate, and try to make their life your life or vice versa. Because you got a life to live and they got a life to live. Go out and enjoy your life during the day. Because I don't know if you at work, you decide you want to go hang out with the girls, go hang out with the girls, go. I didn't understand that. I'm thinking that, that you supposed to like what I like and I supposed to like what you like. I might not like everything you like. I might not want to go out to certain places. Like you might want to go over your aunt's house every weekend. If that's where you want to go. Because that's what my ex-wife used to do. She hung out with her cousins a lot too. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you, no, we married now. You ain't supposed to do this. You ain't supposed. No. And my pastor, what's up, cool? And my pastor helped me to understand that it takes three to make up the marriage. God should already be there. You're an individual. She's an individual. The two should come together as one. That means she should be able to go out and do the things that she like doing and enjoy her life and have fun and stuff like that, right? She should be able to do that. You supposed to be able to go do what you got to do, and the two shall come together and sit down and talk. Hey, baby, how was your day? Oh, my day was fine. Me and the girls did this and girl. Was any guys there? Huh? I'm just trying to tell you about my day. Oh, okay. Anybody try to talk to you? Then she can't even tell you her story. But when my pastor said that, that shocked me, because I already know the man, the woman, and God. But when he said the man, the woman, the two individual characters, personalities shall come together as one, where I should be able to talk with her and tell her how my day went, and the stuff that I done. Now I deal with women and children. Once I'm able to, I go back. I am a church going man. So I will be going back there too. I don't need you to tell me I'm doing too much of this and too much of that. The goal is to balance all that out. But don't fix it where you think you're going to dictate what I should do and how I should do it. What I love doing, I had it done. Even pushed away from my own family. And I'm talking about my nieces and nephews, my sisters. I will never, ever let somebody do that to me again. Never. And my thing was to protect my family at all costs, but you don't do that. The families as well. I got brothers, I got sisters, my kids got uncles and cousins and stuff like that. Now they hung around them when they was a little bit younger. Now that they're older, it's like the separation that came. So the only side of the family she see the most is her mother's, my kids. When me and my ex-wife was together, I cooked for Thanksgiving and everything. I'm the type of guy, my mother taught me how to cook, clean, and sew. She said, man, I said, Ma, why did you do this? She said, just in case you never get married, you'll be able to take care of yourself. So I'm not used to this 50-50 thing that I hear y'all talk about. I'm used to the man making sure financially everything is taken care of. This new group, and guess what? My wives work. My first wife, we was looking at houses together, but I didn't want to stay there. So I ended up moving on. She figured the house would bring us closer together. Mm-mm. And I love her. I've been knowing her for over 40 years. Matter of fact, 47. No, I'm sorry. 44. I've been knowing her for 44 years. My family loves her more than my second wife. Even though they got along with each other after a while. Because I'm going to tell y'all this, and this is my experience. My first wife and my second wife, they was not going to take me through this he said, she said, done this, done that. I was not going to let that happen. So my thing is, y'all better find a way to get along with each other. That's how you eliminate the baby's mama's dramas when you're in the middle. If you get with somebody and that person have other children, you encourage them and motivate them to be more a part of their kids' lives. No matter what. You don't have to like the baby mother. And for the men too. I raised two other men's children. One of them, I kid and I joke and I play with him. I call him daddy number two. I'm daddy number one. What's up, lady, lady poetry? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Lady. I raised, but guess what? I was trying to fill that emptiness that guy didn't have. Right. And look, my oldest stepdaughter, she calls me Big Steve. I gave her a choice when she was younger. Either she could call me daddy, whatever made her feel comfortable, or she could call me Big Steve. I'm all right with that. So she called me Big Steve to this day. Put her through college and everything. Helped her in college and all that. Now, my 25-year-old, I raised her ever since she was 2 months. That's her sister. And my grandbaby, which is my stepdaughter's baby, I am granddaddy number two. Her father is granddaddy number one. But when it comes to his daughter, I'm daddy number one. He's daddy number two. He be like, cut this shit out, Steve. Cut this shit out. That's how we play. Y'all be all getting all tangled up because, you know, they now that she got she got two kids, right, by somebody else, but you don't want him come around to see his kids. There you go. And see, that's look, lady, I'm 62 now. I ain't trying to mess with nobody with kids. That young again. I said no. No. Look, I be telling myself, do not mess with somebody young with young kids again, young, a little bit younger than me. Mm-mm. That's too expensive. And like you said, if I love the mother, I care for the mother. I'm like, look, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, I just sent it. But look, now that I'm older too, I do not, and my grandbaby, right? She just turned one, and all that howling and screaming and all that, I'm like, I ain't got the patience for this. I just knew I was gonna rock her and walk her. I was like, I'll turn around and give her back to her mom. What's up, lady?
What's going on, Copeland? You having a good day?
Yeah, normally, because when I this for
Listen here. I just heard you never say never, and you know when you tell your kids, my kids will never do that. If you tell somebody my kids will never do that, your kids be out there never and like never before. Let me tell you what I never did recently. I broke my own cardinal rule. Okay, so you and I are in a close age bracket, right? We both same generation, and I'm an empty nester. My children are grown, they're flourishing, all that's good to go. And I've got a cardinal rule as a single woman: I was not gonna date no man with no younger children. Your children can't be young in school. All that. I want you to know. I just need you to know that I broke my rule. I broke my rule, Steve, and I fell in love with this man. He got two of the most precious, handsome, well-mannered little gentlemen I have ever encountered, and it's all I can do to hold back, not spoil these youngins. Oh, it's all I can do. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I thought I didn't want it. And I never understood. You remember when your parents used to say silence is deafening? I never understood what that meant until I was an empty nester and how quiet my house was. And I missed the laughter. I missed the arguing, the siblings, the disagreements, the stuff that looking back now don't matter what nothing but a thing. And I missed every single piece of it. And now when I'm at his house and his kids and they on the game and they fussing back and forth between the walls and the bedroom and I'm just cackling. I'm in there just like, I am loving every minute of this. And he's about to interrupt and tell him to calm down. And I'm like, no, let them go. It's good. They still calm. That's good. They just let them go. I'm enjoying this.
Now I love it for the moment. No, but look, this what my my 23-year-old, right? Because when I dated younger females, so my daughter like, Daddy, you need to find somebody more your age. And I'm like, now I'm not talking about dating nobody near her age because my oldest is 35, so I don't want to go younger than that, right? So my daughter like, Daddy, you need to find somebody more your age and start dating now. So I'm like, Sienna, I don't care for women my age. So she kind of got upset. And I told her, I said, well, Sienna, I'll start dating 40%, right? When I say 40%, I mean like 40-year-olds. So and like you said, don't never say never.
Because what you gonna have in common with a younger woman?
Right. See that's
joke, and they don't get the joke. You're trying to have some inside, jovial stuff between you. I mean, I was saying to somebody the other day, they was in a different age group, and I had said something like, I want to bust through this wall like the Kool-Aid man. Like I was big mad about something. And they looked at me like I had 3 heads. They didn't know who the Kool-Aid man was. I was like...
Somebody else I heard, what is the Kool-Aid man? Or can you say it on here?
You remember that commercial? The doggone...
Yeah, the big...
Burst through the wall.
Okay. I thought, but see, when you said it, I thought it was maybe another... It's like a scenario for something else. So I got you with the Kool-Aid. I got you now. I got you.
He used to bust through the wall. I was so mad. I'm like, I'm about to be like the Kool-Aid man. I want to bust through this wall. And they was like, the Kool-Aid man? I'm out. I was like, oh, okay. I'm in my age bracket.
Well, see, that's what I've been listening to a lot lately. Some of the lives where I'm not used to 50-50. I was always told a man take care of his responsibility. So I always took care of the house as a whole, right? And then I started listening to a lot of the people on some of these lives, and I can tell basically they between 30 and 40. And they talking 50-50. And I'm hearing things that around my children's age bracket. And I'm like, I need to listen more to that mindset because we laid down the morals, values, and principles. But it's like now I need to listen to them more to better understand mainly where my girls are at, what they're thinking and everything around there, And it's starting to teach me a lot.
I think it depends on the woman you with too.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think it depends on the relationship and the woman you're with. And, the end goal is always to find somebody to continue to build with. It doesn't matter what you are. There's always a goal, right? You're going to meet that goal. The goalpost is going to move. There's going to be priorities change. There's going to be a new goal there. There's going to be constant communication of what's next in life. But you just got to find somebody that you're aligned with.
Right.
And,
right.
Somebody that gets it. But like for me, I don't need nobody to come finance my bougie lifestyle. I finance my bougie lifestyle. I don't, you want to throw me a little money here to get my nails done. You want to do this. You want to do so. Okay, do something kind and nice. That's fine. I'll accept that. But I don't have that expectation from you. I'm an independent woman, but that doesn't mean that you can't take control as a man if you're leading as a man, as the man of the home, and do those things. Absolutely. But I think it just depends on the relationship. All these people out here with these hard set boundaries, good luck. Because if you'll also notice, a lot of these doggone people out here speaking on it single.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And see, by me, I retired 4 years ago from tractor trailer school driving. By this time, it's more like focusing on me and getting my life together. And when I left my second marriage, only because I didn't want nobody to come in between my kids and me. So, because of what happened with my second marriage, how a lot of stuff got separated. And I said, this time I am not going to allow nobody to come in my life and dictate how I should do things, who I should be with, talking about how I communicate with other people and associate with other people, even my family. So for years, I didn't let too many women real close to me. And my kids, as they begin to get older, the same daughter, she was like, Daddy, it's okay, you can start dating now. But my thing is, like I said, I didn't want to run back into no woman who haven't had her life together where she's gonna try to dictate a man, you know. I was in a very abusive marriage, physically. I mean, not physically. I'm sorry, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And my whole goal was to please my wife. So it pulled me away from my brothers, well, my sisters, and eventually my brothers, but my nieces and all that too, because she had a issue with women dealing with me or talking with me. You know, it's always something negative that came out of it. So little by little, just to please her, I was backing up. But I didn't realize it until I went to a therapist to help me deal with my wife and her nagging. And he was the one that explained to me that I was in an abusive marriage. But he said it's not the physical type, it's that mental, emotional, and verbal. And his goal was to work me out of it. But once he said that, I didn't go back. I stayed away from the therapist. I didn't go back to the therapist because I didn't feel like God was telling me to leave. Then eventually, 4 years later, I left. I left because she had filed charges against me saying that I was beating on her and everything. But I screamed out and I asked God to help me. And not knowing at that time that was his way of saving my life, was moving me out of that marriage. So what I was trying to tell people, I would never, what happened with me, I I would prefer people to work on your marriage, but I was done. I was done. And I asked the judge, right, when I wasn't supposed to have went for that 30-day stay away. But anyway, I went to court and the judge was like, Mr. Copeland, you ain't had to be here. This was just, for her to come for the hearing thing, for them to, they had already served me. But anyway, I asked the judge, I said, can you extend this stay away order, which was the protection order, stay away, indefinitely? The judge was like, Mr. Copeland, that's your home. You mean to tell me you don't want to go to your home? And in my mind, I'm saying, because I didn't know if I could tell her that, I was like, hell no. If you knew what I was putting up with for the last 15 years, no. So she said, okay, what I'll do, I'll extend it for a year. And that whole year, that was just for me to go through what I had to go through. Seemed like every month or every other month, I was running back and forth to court. Her saying I did this and did that. And I was not dealing with that because I didn't want to violate the protection order and go to prison. But that's where it's at. And right now, if her and I, it might be a little better, but if her and I would have a conversation, I wouldn't talk to her no longer than 2 minutes. Because for some reason it tends to go right or left, however you want to say it. So, but it was just me trying to fix my wife, trying to help my wife, um, dealing with some of the personal stuff she was dealing with from her past. So it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. And right now, it's like what you were saying. I'm 62 and I'm tired of being by myself. I'm like, I look, I be joking and playing sometimes. I say, I want a sugar mama. I want somebody to take care of me because I'm so used to taking care of women. I'm so used to taking care of women. I be wanting somebody to take care of me.
I understand. I got to get off this phone in a minute.
Yeah, thank you.
My adult children about to come in and
Okay.
expecting dinner. So I'm finishing up dinner. But I'm going to tell you this. Equally yoked is a thing.
Ooh.
And it is lost in this generation. And that is something that you need to be speaking on in all facets. It's not just biblical. It's being equal in all the ways and understanding.
True.
And I found my person. I spent a year in solitude. And I wasn't on any of these crazy date naps. I wasn't out there looking.
Right.
My family had an inside joke. They said, Jen, you're going to marry the Amazon driver, because I was either working or at home at my house. And that was the only person that saw me was the Amazon driver. And I want to tell you that my Mr. Right showed up. I was not looking for him. He come a knocking, and I don't know what made me respond, but I did. And next thing you know, here we are. And I do believe it is divine, and I have prayed hard on it. And when I pray, I say, Lord, if this is not of you and from you, if this is not a union blessed by you, please show me in a way that is so clear that I cannot misunderstand, and show me quickly, Lord. And I've been praying on this prayer for months. I want you to know God's been silent. And I'm going to tell you something about me and God. When I ask, he delivers. When I ask, he gives me my answer. And by him staying silent, and my belief is showing me, Jen, there's not a red flag here. There's nothing for you to see here. Go live your life. This is your person. And I feel that I have that full permission and blessing to do that. And for the first time in my life, and I'm going to tell you these two things, and then I got to jump. Go. Number one, every man that I've had a long-term relationship with, a real relationship, has told me, you make me want to be a better man. I have never experienced being with a man that made me want to be the best version of me. And this man does that for me. He makes me want to show up at my best every day. He has brought forth the nurturing and kindness that I thought was lost in all the past jaded relationships. I thought that part of me was gone. And brother, I'm here to tell you, it's not. I just needed the right person there to bring it out. So there is hope for you. And, I love you much. You have a great night, friend. And we will pick this up soon.
Yeah, and thank you for supporting me. And go ahead, because I don't want to hold you up.
I got dinner going. I'm in here. I got to make some gravy.
And guess what? I took some fish out. I need to go up and start frying them too. Because I normally don't fry food, but I just said I was going to throw some fish on today. But go ahead.
Good night,
all right, you too, and thank you.
Bye.
All right, good night. All right, family, I'm going to go ahead and end this. And I thank y'all for your love and support. Thank you for your love and support.